Good evening, I'm Suzanne Fransky, and it is both a pleasure and an honor to share with you this evening a very wonderful tribute for our very own Dr. Michaela Scott. Born Michaela Gasman in the town of Dinklage, Germany, Dr. Scott studied medicine in Bonn, Vienna, and received her Doctors de Medicine degree from the Universität zu Tübingen before coming to the United States in 1971 for a fellowship and residency at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami. Dr. Scott founded her practice in 1975, where she became the first residency-trained oncologist hematologist serving patients from Melbourne to North Palm Beach. It was a pivotal year for this new oncologist and for all who were working in the fight against cancer.
I was the chief of staff and had the pleasure of interviewing her for the staff at Indian River Memorial Hospital. Michaela was the first university-educated oncologist at Indian River Memorial Hospital. She was also the first female to be on the staff of Indian River Memorial Hospital. Her knowledge was beyond reproach, insurmountable.
The same year, Dr. Scott was approached by Jack Taylor with the American Cancer Society. Jack was hopeful that our new doctor, especially given her outstanding education and talents, would join with the effort to form an Indian River County unit. She rose to the occasion and was among the first to lead the way for Vero Beach. Dr. Scott served for over 15 years on the board of directors in many capacities, including president of the unit. Her enthusiasm was contagious with her board members, and with a groundswell of support from residents, Indian River County was recognized for raising the most capital per capita of any county in the state of Florida. In 1982, our very own Dr. Scott became president of the division board. Never before had anyone from our part of the state served as president. The local unit was walking tall. We knew what many others would soon find out, that her commitment was rock solid, her energy dazzling, and her achievement of ACS goals, raising capital for research, education, and patient services, mind-blowing.
It was her charm, her gentleness, her calm manner, just knowing that every day what she was going through with her patients, but that she could bring this love and caring to all of us and want us to be able to share in the community. So we got very involved as a board. Her board of directors was so powerful at the time, and we did wonderful things.
I have had the pleasure of working with many volunteers over the years, but none more dedicated, enthusiastic, committed, and most importantly, caring than you. You, Michaela, are a great scientist, but when it comes to the art of medicine, you are a grand master.
Many times, patient has said she always touched the patient, whether they were in the chair, but always she put them on the exam table and always listened to their heart, listened to everything. At the end, always held their hands. And patients said many times to her and to me after she left the room that they hadn't been touched by a physician during all this process getting to her exam appointment, and they knew they were in safe hands.
Dr. Scott was attacking cancer from every angle. With the American Cancer Society, her focus was on the new research possibilities. In 1990-91, she became president of the Florida Society of Clinical Oncology. She also served on the board of the Southern Association for Oncology, taking leadership as president in 1998-99. Dr. Scott's role as a doctor put her in a clinical setting, but when a patient walked in her exam room, the experience was far from clinical.
He's really one of my remarkable, wonderful stories. You know, he was about 16 and a half, 16, and he had widespread testicular cancer. We forced him to come to the office. He had no insurance. I actually paid for his drugs, you know. But he was a surfer, so he was totally irresponsible. he didn't have family support. I never met his parents. So to get his 4 cycles of chemotherapy through, I had to call the police department to go to the inlet to get him out of the water where he was surfing, to bring him to the office. 20-some years later, or maybe even 30 years later, I'm making rounds in the hospital and somebody calls me Dr. Scott, and so there's a woman there and she says, "Are you Dr. Michaela Scott?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, my husband is this irresponsible young guy that was the surfer, that we now have a daughter and we called her Michaela after you."
There are so many more compelling stories, so many more thoughts and visions of her excellent care, always with compassion and protection for her patients. We thank you, Dr. Scott, for who you are, for what you have done, and for the legacy you leave in each and every one of us. We ask for God's blessings over you and your life.
Well, it was really my wonderful pleasure to be in this country and in this community, and I feel blessed to be able to have taken care of so many wonderful patients and their families. So if I have been a blessing to them, it was God's way of doing it,